Omotayo Sangofadeji. I've got a bio to read out as well. If you give me one moment, I'll just give it a quick read. So she's a financial consultant by day and a writer all of the time. She has worked as a content creator for Tru Star Magazine, and her short stories have been published in several online publications, including the Naked Convos and Isele Magazine. Former headliner at Redefest Community Music Festival, she has also performed at several book reading events and open mic shows in the northeast of England. Thank you. Give her a big round of applause as she comes to the stage. Thanks.
Hello everyone, good evening. It's so nice to have everyone here. Thank you all for coming. The first poem I'll be performing is What and Who I Mean. Who we have been greatly informs who we are, and even greater, guides us on who we should be, who we can be. As a Black person, you cannot truly go your entire life unaware of the sacrifices that were made to bring you here. And here, where we stand, is a place that is evidently not close enough to where we ought to be as a society. A place that has not yet bridged the gap between Black and white, a gap that ought to never have been. I say we are in a gray land, and as a Black person, my history compels me to fight for a better land, as my ancestors did. I know what I mean because of them. I know who I mean because of them. Most of all, I know that the onus lies on me and my kind to carry the torch until equality becomes a thing that doesn't need to be fought for. My ancestors lie in the shores of my vein, quiet but not silent, serene but not laggard, gentle but not weak. As my blood makes billowing waves, washing in and out of bay, I see clearly what and who I mean. My ancestors lie in the songs I sing, trembling in the melodies, whispering in the verses, reaching through the bridges, as my ears hear and my heart learns. I see clearly what and who I mean. My ancestors lie in the hills they climbed, pointing me to the rocks they shattered, uncovering the grounds they fell to, revealing the beliefs they wind. As I bask in the grain of their famine and rest where they once toiled, I see clearly what and who I mean. My ancestors lie in the rains of time. I look onwards, their past steals my gaze. I stand tall, their stories weigh on me. I lay my head, they tease my dreams. As my selfish needs stagger and my knowledge strengthens, I see clearly what and who I mean. My ancestors lie in the fight of today, leading the path on what must be, feeding the courage to demand equality, hammering the doors of justice to reveal what just is. As I forge ahead and take on the fight, my footprints clearly forming in the ground they walked, I see clearly what and who I mean. Thank you. The second poem I'll be reading is The Question. As a parent, you naturally worry about the world you're bringing your child to. You worry about who is going to bully them in school. You worry about the first time they'll cry because they got their heart broken. You worry about the confusions and anxieties they may face as they get older. All bothersome things that characterize our world. As a Black parent, however, you worry a little more than this. You worry about when your child would be labeled differently. A flush on their face as they come to realize a dissension they did never before perceived. You worry about when they will be conditioned into believing that the color of their skin makes them less worthy. You worry about the unkindness and brutality they may face. There comes a phase where they run to you with all those feelings and questions. Because division is so unnatural, it cannot be understood at first sight, if ever. It serves me a little daydream to imagine a world where this phase does not exist. I imagine a land far away from here, where our children ask all field questions, so much more that they can ask the question. Like a watched pot that never boils, the moment we away it draws in toil. We tick off all the milestones, the baba, the mama, the staircase climb, the first day of school, all while awaiting the question. The routine question, the important talk, the black child passage rites. Because here in this land, our children look out and question the systems. Yet the land asks them to look back in and question themselves. And when our children look in, they find there is nothing to question but their skin. So they ask, Mother, why does my hair stand upwards and kinky? Why does it not fall downwards as it should? And to that I answer, greatness cannot fall. Your hair grows towards the sun, for you're a brilliant shining light. But mother, why is my skin brown like the ground? Why does it brighten and darken as it pleases all over my body? And to that I answer, your melanin protects you from the harshness of this world. It evens out in your limbs and obscures in your crevices. Like art, my darling, like art. But mother, why does the air around me bend as I walk? Why do people point and stare and furrow their brows? And to that I answer, my child, people question what they cannot understand. My child, it is your job to stand tall, but it is not your job to explain why you tower. My child, you may be poked and prodded and badgered, but your spirit can never waver. It is your ancestral destiny to soar. And though the question may have been answered, left now only to be constantly reached for and remembered, I will never forget the land I imagined, how as I responded and resolved, as I rejoined meaning to the illogical divisions in our world, I traveled far from here, to a land where our children ask all field questions, so much more than they ask these questions, if only because in that land the world lives as it should, if only because in that land the color of our being is respected and understood. Thank you. And the final one I'll be reading is about a question that I think most of us get, which is, where are you originally from? Where are you originally from? I get asked a lot. A subtle reminder that I do not wholly fit in here. And so I say, I'm originally from a place where my memories hold happiness differently. Like ewedu served with the perfect ratio of stew, like sun-dried clothes, a fully charged phone before NEPA strikes, nicely roasted boli, not too soft, not too hard, perfectly salted and crunchy granuts, meat pie with juicy filling and crusty flakes, like arriving in time for the last batch of hot and soft puff-puff being scooped out of hot oil, like firewood jollof rice, Lagos without traffic on a Sunday, like hearing God speak love through a rumble of thunder, like soft agege bread and egg fried with sardine oil, like deep fried meat encased in the juice of peppery stew. Home is my grandma, 6,000 miles away, loving how much my children look like her. Home is my grandma, 6,000 miles away, loving how much my children look like her, saying a prayer, prayed over my father, and now me and my children. I carry in my chest the excitement of my mother and grandmothers, the longings of my aunties, as I dare to do the things society told them that they could not. Home is like my hair, a beauty to behold, and not a placating comment to let me know how I'm accepted or acceptable. Like hairstylists who lovingly part each strand of hair, a tribute to my ancestry. Like my nosy neighbors who look out for me and me for them. Like a nation plowed over and over again, first for its people and then its resources, and now for its talents. like the color of my skin, making us sisters or brothers, like sun made for my skin so it can glisten with the beauty and love that created them, like my black being human, like my black being beautiful. Thank you.